Craft beer industry. Let's talk for a moment about special trademark considerations for those in the craft beer industry. The craft beer industry, of course, has been growing tremendously over the last decade or so, with the number of brands and the number of beers exploding. It's an industry with many creative brand names and many trademark disputes. Every time I visit my local beer and wine store, I always get a chuckle out of seeing some of the many creative names that are coming out all the time in craft beers. The trademark filing statistics of the USPTO, I don't want to go into them in depth right now, but they reflect the growth in the beer industry. Just 5 or 10 years ago, there were a few hundred trademarks filed every year for beer names. And now it's a few thousand, many thousands, and even more so for brewery services. What does this growth mean? What it means in one way is that it's more difficult to come up with a creative name in such a crowded field. However, despite this explosion of brand names, there is still plenty of room for creativity, even in such a crowded field. Many breweries, of course, have multiple or even dozens of brands for different styles of beers or seasonal offerings. But it is still important to consider the possibilities, both good and bad, of each name. Make sure it is unique in the beverage industry. Under trademark law, beer names could often face problems from similar wine, spirit, or other beverage names. Don't even have to be alcohol brands. Protecting each name when possible with USPTO is recommended. While some beer offerings may have a limited run, you never know when a beer or brand is going to take off and have a spotlight shined upon it. It is best to be properly protected in advance to maximize the benefits and reduce the risks from competitors of such interest. Competitors are much less likely to risk using a brand name similar to one from a brewery that is known to have protected its trademarks. So these are just a few of the reasons that trademarks are extra important for craft beer. Protected brands and proper enforcement have allowed several of my beer industry clients to protect their brands from competitors who sought to open locations nearby with confusingly similar names. So that is actual experience of actual clients. But still, there's a perception that many breweries and other small businesses cannot afford to protect their trademarks. In fact, most small businesses and breweries cannot afford to skip trademark protection. The potential legal, business, and financial costs resulting from unprotected brands are tremendous, as demonstrated by the headaches, bad media, expenses, stress, and legal fees created by the many trademark disputes out there. Spending a little money up front to help make sure a beer name is unique, protectable, and filed with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is an incredible investment.